Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, somebody has switched on his or her video. We need to close that. Let's start for today. Today is the very first class of our very first module, which is the module is of statutory compliances and labor laws. And this is the very first topic, which is a provident fund. Provident fund is one of the most important and biggest labor law in India. Why it is biggest? Because it cover good amount of people under this act. And why it is important? Because you will find what was the basic purpose of bringing this act in India and what all facility or benefit this act provide to good amount of people. The full name of the act is Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952. This act was brought into uh, this act was implemented in the year 1952. Look, every act has got some purpose. Every labor law which is there, which government has brought, has got some purpose. So, what was the purpose of this act? Why government has thought of bringing this act? The Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provident Act aims to provide this act. The basic purpose of this act is to provide social security and retirement benefit. This was the basic purpose. And what all facilities or benefits this act provide to employees? It is provident fund number one, which is you can say it is a saving scheme where people save their money. Second is superannuation pension. It is a retirement benefit. When the person gets retired, they get some kind of pension on a monthly basis so that they can take care of their livelihood. Third is this disability pension. If any mishappening happens with any of the PF member while working, either the person gets disabled or loses some part of his body, there is a provision of disability pension. Then there is family pension, which is offered or extended to the family member of PF employee in case of death. And then there is deposit linked insurance, which is insurance, which is life insurance sort of thing, which is provided to each and every PF member. So these are five benefits which are provided under this act, and the basic purpose of bringing this act was social security and retirement benefit. Look, this act or law is applicable to which all companies. Whenever we will use the word applicability, this indicates the employer or company. This act is applicable to which all company or which all employer. EPFMP Act, this PF Act extends to whole India. This is applicable to all the companies pan India. Earlier, before this Article 370, which was revoked from J&K, this act was not applicable in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. But as on today, now it is applicable to entire India. This act or this law applies to every factory and establishment. When I'm saying factory, factory is a place where manufacturing process happens. Establishment is is a place where all commercial activities happens. Every office, every shop, every restaurant, every cinema hall, all this comes under establishment. So this act applies to entire India, and this act applies to every factory and establishment in which 20 or more persons are employed. Third is the act once applied will continue to apply even if the number of employees falls less than 20 after the coverage. Suppose there is a company which has employed only 18 people. So this act will not get attracted for that company. That company is excluded. Till the time any company reaches to a number 20, this act will not become applicable. There can be a company who throughout the month in January they were having 15 people, in Feb they were having 18 people. So in this way, in case in the entire 12 month the company has never employed 20 people, they are safe, they are outside from this Provident Fund Act. But once they touches a figure of 20, this act become applicable to that company. And
I
this
have a
act,
question over here.
yes.
Uh, See, if a company is running in a remote place where there is no accessible to
like any policies of like ESI and PF, and they are running the company with, they are running with 20 plus employees, and they are not providing any ESI or PF. So, what is the consequences that they can face in future if they don't do it in a regulatory manner?
Look, ESI, the purpose of ESI is different and the purpose of PF is different. ESI, the basic purpose of ESI is to provide monetary benefit and medical benefit.
Yes.
That's why ESI is not applicable in few locations which are highly remote and where ESI cannot reach to provide facilities to employees. Whereas the purpose of Provident Fund is social security and retirement benefit. So, irrespective of locations where the employee is working or the company is located, irrespective of location, these two things has to be provided, or the PF Act has to uh, PF Act will become applicable. PF law is not exempted on the basis of location of the company. Even if they are placed or located in a highly remote area, this act will applies.
So you mean to say that the ESI is not mandatory in the remote place, but PF is mandatory?
Yes, for under ESI there are some exempted area. Why? Okay.
Okay, when you mean to say that exempted area and the like, it is mean to say that it is like a city or a village, it is, comes under that, or it is remote?
For which act you are talking about?
ESI.
ESI, ESI is different. Look, all those areas are exempted where ESI do not have their regional offices.
So
There,
in that perspective, so in a remote areas, when those employees are working, what is the benefit they will get in terms of insurance?
look, from ESI definitely they will not get any benefit. But companies cover all these employees under some kind of medical insurance also.
So
They
that's
can.
what my question is. So is that mandatory that we should provide insurance that if we don't have ESI?
Yes, yes, it is mandatory. If their, head office is registered in ESI and one of a branch which is in a remote location where the ESI is not implemented, in that case, it becomes the employer's responsibility to provide them the medical insurance equivalent to the ESI benefits.
And sir, I have a question over here. And
Yeah.
if we have only one branch which is in a remote area,
Hmm.
okay, is that mandatory that we have to provide insurance to all the employees irrespective of ESI?
Yes, if the company fulfills all the eligibility criteria of ESIC, but because the ESIC is not implemented in that area, in that case, yet is yes, it becomes mandatory to provide the
So we have
medical.
to provide private insurance.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Uh, Arun, yes, just to add on the answer which Dheeraj has given, ESI is, I am writing something on my screen. ESI is applicable to all those employees who are getting salary up to 21,000.
Yeah.
You spoke about a branch which is located in a remote area.
Yep.
What if all the employees working in those areas or in that branch is over this 21,000? If everybody is getting 22,000, ESI is not applicable.
Sir,
In that case,
I truly understand, sir, but
done.
my question is whoever is getting less than 21,000, is that mandatory? If it is a remote area, company has to provide a private insurance.
Yes.
Okay, that is what my question. Thank you.
Okay, done, done. Now, when I talk about this 20 people, suppose the company has employed 12 people on, there were 12 employee in the month of January, 18 in the month of Feb, and 11. If in this way, if they were having this kind of employee throughout the year where they have not touched 20, PF Act will not become applicable. Take example of another company, company B. This company has employed 20 people in the month of January. Now they have only 9 people throughout the year. The PF Act will apply to this company. Once any company touches a figure of 20 employee, the act become applicable and it will remain applicable. With this company, which has never employed 20 or more, act will remain silent. This PF Act will not be applicable.
Sir, what if the A company reaches the number of 20 if if they touches on June, so from there it will applicable, right?
Correct. Very correct. From June, this act will become applicable.
Okay.
Okay. And then there are other options also. Company can go for voluntary, which we will discuss sometime later. But this act applies to only those company which has got 20 people on any day in the previous 12 months. Once you have 20 employees, this act will become applicable and it will remain applicable, irrespective of how many people you have as on date. So on applicability part, we are clear. It extends to entire India. It applies to all the company which has got 20 people. And once this act become applicable, this will remain applicable. Now, under this act, there are three schemes. This is why this is called as Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act. The three important schemes or benefits are Employees Provident Fund, 1952. The act was started from this benefit, which primarily deals into saving. Second is Employees Pension Scheme, which has come into force in 1995. This deals about providing pension post-retirement. And third is Employees Deposit Linked Insurance, which is a insurance, life insurance sort of thing. And we will discuss what all benefits comes under these three schemes. We have seen that this act applies to those company which has got 20 people. Now, once this act applies to any company, which all employee will become eligible to be taken under provident fund. Act neighbor shows that each and every employee of each and every companies are eligible to get this benefit. As per Provident Fund Act, all employees employed in an establishment, which includes employee employed through contractor, daily rated, piece rated, temporary, casual etc., drawing monthly wages up to 15,000 per month. All those employees whose monthly salary, taking into account basic and D only, if the salary is 15,000 per month or less, that person will come under Provident Fund. It is mandatory to bring all those employees whose salary is 15,000 per month or less into PF. Anybody who is getting more than that, I want to understand from the audience whether they would be coming under PF or not.
I hope no.
Okay, okay, fine. The act is saying that all those people who are getting salary up to this much, and when we are talking about salary or monthly wages, this would include basic and D only, not other allowances like HRA, conveyance, and other thing. This is what act is saying. And people who are getting more than this, the case will differ. We will discuss that also. So it is mandatory to include all those employees into PF whose salary is 15,000 or less. Now, uh, as a employer, you are getting an employee uh, whose basic in DA is less or equal to 15,000. In that case, there is no option available with the employer. The person has to be taken under Provident Fund. The other case can be a person who is joining you whose basic and DA is more than 15,000. There are two options. We need to see whether the person was earlier a member of PF or not. If the person was PF member previously, we need to, okay, if the person was not a member of PF previously, there is a choice in the hand of employer either to include that person or to not include that person in Provident Fund. If the person was earlier a member of PF, then there is no choice. On first part, we are clear that if anybody's salary is less than 15,000 per month, that person has to be taken under PF. If there is a person whose monthly salary is more than 15,000, monthly salary when I'm talking about basic and D only. If the monthly salary is more than 15,000 and the person was never a member of Provident Fund, there is a choice with the employer. Employer is free to take that person under PF and employer is free to exclude that person from Provident Fund. But if the person's salary is more than 15,000 per month and he was a member of PF earlier, then there is no choice. The employer or the company has to take that person under Provident Fund. Clear on this?
I
Where
have a question here.
yes, please.
What if the employee does not declare during his joining that he already had a PF account? Is there a way of we reconfirming that?
This is excellent question. Look, the employee is normally employee do not declare.
Vimal,
Yes, normally employee do not declare in case they want to remain out of provident fund. Nowadays, everybody has got UAN. UAN is a unique number which is linked to Aadhaar. As an employer, you can always find whether the person was earlier a member of PF or not by entering into his detail while registering any employee into provident fund. The very first question which PF website asks you is whether the employee was earlier a member of PF or not. If you say no and try to register him, you will get his all detail by entering
I
his
have a
Aadhaar
question
card.
over here that so when you say that if somebody is getting more than 15,000 per month, so do we can go and say to the company that no, I don't want to register to PF? Is that acceptable?
Arun, there are two questions. See, one is when the employee is not declaring, and another you said that when the employee is saying that he was a member of PF, but now he do not want to remain under PF. In 99.9% cases, it is very difficult to exclude that person. But
Because
point
the company is taking the decision, right? That's what I'm asking.
company is taking the decision to exclude. Company cannot take that.
No, no, companies try to include us. So can we go and tell them that no, I don't want to register myself to the PF if I'm getting more than 50,000? Is that acceptable?
This can be done. This comes under 0.1% where employee and employer jointly declare that my salary is more than 15,000 and we want to remain out of PF. This can be done,
Totally
which
under
is
mutual understanding.
yes, but this is not advisable because in the days to come, when you go for all kind of returns, it will be very difficult to justify. Yes, this can be done. 0.1% employee and employer with the help of joint declaration, they can opt out from the provident fund. But any employee, this is one Arun, I answered your question. Yes, this can be done, which is not advisable.
Okay.
And any employee who wants to hide the fact that he was earlier a member of PF cannot be done. You can always find whether the person was earlier a member of PF or not by taking the Aadhaar number of that person. Once you enter that,
Mhm.
all detail of employee would be flashed on the website. He
Yes.
was working with which company, what was his PF number, all those detail will come. Before UAN, every new employee was supposed to fill Form 11. Form 11 is self-declaration by the employee declaring that whether he was a member of Provident Fund or not. So on the basis of that, employer were taking decision. If the employee is declaring that in Form 11 that he was never a member of Provident Fund, the companies were excluding that gentleman, saying that since this person was never a member of PF, we are also excluding him. But nowadays, it has become very difficult. Even if any employee gives false declaration,
Oh,
as an employer, you can always find from the PF portal
yes.
that whether he was a member of Provident Fund or not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Once you,
understand, sir. Don't mistake me. Just I just want to,
no, I never, I never mistake any questions which you all people ask. Please feel free to ask.
sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for your patience.
And we have the expert silently watching. Dheera sir is there. Whenever we will stuck anywhere, I will invite. So, uh, uh, look at 1% chances are there and possibilities are there that if the employee and employer both wish to exclude from the PF, they can do that. But there is a consent which is required from the employee and employer both. If anybody's salary is less than 15,000, there is no choice neither with the employee nor with the employer. Even if they go with a joint declaration, they cannot exclude any employee in the cases where salary is less than 15,000. It is an act, it is a law. There is no choice. If, if the law is saying that everybody needs to be taken into provident fund whose salary is less than 15,000, you do not have any choice. If wearing helmet is a mandatory, it is mandatory, it is a law. You cannot say that my hairstyle will get destroyed or I will not wear. But all those cases where salary is more than 15,000, there is an option. But again, which is not advisable. I hope I'm able to clarify. Somebody was asking if the employee is not declaring the fact.
Yeah, it's clear now. Thank you.
Yes, you can always find. Now it is Aadhaar is UN is linked with Aadhaar and Aadhaar, so you can find out any detail. Even if the employee is not declaring, put his Aadhaar number in the PF website and you will get all his detail. In the next session, when we will go for practical understanding, registering new employee, marking them exit, Dheeraj sir will be showing that how you can find out the detail of a person, whether he was a member of Provident Fund or not. So there can be two cases which is like this. In one cases, if the salary is less than 15,000, the person has to be taken into provident fund. In the cases where salary is more than 15,000, there can be two possibilities. If he was a member of PF earlier, we need to take that. If the person was not a member of PF earlier, there is a choice, clean choice or clear choice with the employer whether they wants to take it. Now, we would be talking about the percentage of provident fund, but let's understand what salary is taken to find out the contribution of provident fund. In July 19, Supreme Court has given this judgment that uh, entire salary needs to be taken for calculating provident fund contribution. Before this judgment, all companies were deducting provident fund on basic salary and DA only. Where there were no DA, PF was getting deducted on basic salary only. So law says that PF needs to be deducted on basic wages and DA. After this judgment, the Supreme Court has said that you need to take the entire salary for PF calculation. Let me show the various possibilities. Suppose anybody's salary is 12,000, HRA is, we normally take 40 to 50%. So I have taken 40% and conveyance is 1600. This person's total salary is 18,400. So before this judgment, every company was deducting PF on this salary, 12% of this, which was 1414 rupees. And they were excluding HRA and conveyance. But after Supreme Court judgment, the Supreme Court had said that all allowances needs to be taken. Now companies has started taking this salary for provident fund, and no doubt there is a possibility of limiting your capping also 15,000. Let's understand what exactly the law has said. On the left hand side, basic wages as defined by act is there. Basic wage means all emoluments which are earned by an employee while on duty. And now what companies has started doing is law is asking about basic wages, and companies has started considering basic salary. These two words are not same. As per law, basic wages means all emoluments which are earned by employee. So the entire salary is basic wages. Whereas corporates has only started taking basic salary for PF contribution. So this was the major decision by Supreme Court, and they have clarified that basic salary is not the only salary on which provident fund should go. Provident fund should go on basic wages, and basic wages include the all emoluments which are paid to a person, all allowances. So nowadays, every company has started contributing provident fund on 18,000, but yes, there is a capping possibility. Companies have started capping their contribution on 15,000. So basic wages is the wages of a person which he normally gets every month, which includes all kind of allowances. This dearness allowance, house rent allowance, overtime allowances, bonus commissions, or any other similar allowances. In the same act, there is section 6 which says that employer can, if the employer so desires, be an amount exceeding 10% of his basic wages, DNS allowance, and retaining allowance. Now, in the same act, the act is saying that PF needs to be paid on these three allowances: basic wages, which is inclusive of all other allowances, DA if it is there, and the retaining allowance. So now the confusion has cleared after this Supreme Court judgment, and basic salary is not the salary on which PF should go. PF should go on the entire basic wages, which is inclusive of all allowances. But employer has all right to limit their contribution on the 15,000 capping. Okay, there is a justification which Dheeraj has mentioned. What was the justification of this judgment? And all the um, which all allowances can be excluded from provident fund? Allowances which are variable in nature, which are not fixed. Not fixed in the sense either it is not paid every month or not it is not paid as a same amount every month. The amount is getting varied, or either it is not paid on every month, it comes after every 3 months or 5 months. All the allowances which are not regular in nature can be excluded. Allowances which are linked to any incentive for production resulting in greater output, any kind of incentives which are paid either due to production or performance, these allowances can also be excluded. All those allowances can also be excluded which are not paid to all the employees, or the allowances differ on the basis of category to category. To a higher category of employees, you are paying uniform allowance. To the junior category of employees, you are not paying that allowance. So those allowances can also be excluded. Number one is all those allowances which are not fixed in nature, which are variable in nature, which are either not paid every month or are paid different amount every month. Second is any allowances which are linked to any kind of incentives, either production or performance. Those incentives or payments can be excluded. Third is all those allowances which are not paid across the entire organization. And third is allowances which are paid especially to those who avail the opportunity. This again comes all this target based incentives or sales incentives which are paid to some fewer set of employees only who are eligible to get that allowances. So these all allowances can be excluded which are mentioned above. And all other allowances, what was the conclusion? All other allowances which are under question. There was a case which was going between many corporates and Provident Fund Regional Commissioner. So all the allowances which are not coming under above category would come as PF wage. The second is salary component examined by authorities concluded allowances were in question were essentially part of basic wages. All the allowances which companies and corporate has started paying in the name of HRA, conveyance, medical, and special, these all are primarily a part of basic wage only, which company has started showing in breakups, which is wrong. So all these allowances which employees are getting apart from basic salary is a part of basic wages only. Third is there were, and then corporates were, there were no materials, and corporates were not able to prove that why they have bifurcated or brought these allowances. What was the purpose of bringing this allowances? Why not paying entire amount as basic wages? So this was the case. This is the case of detail. We have the entire judgment with us, which we would be sharing you along with the study material. So after this judgment, which came in July 2019 from Supreme Court, deducting provident fund on basic salary has stopped, and every company has started taking the entire salary for calculating PF wages. The wages on which provident fund is paid is called PF wages. So PF wages includes your basic salary and all other allowances. But as an employer, you are always free to limit your contributions on 15,000. Let me show you another slide of mine which will probably clear you whatever we have seen. Is my another slide is visible? This is,
Yes, sir, it's visible.
we have seen applicability. This act applies to which all companies. We have seen which all employees are eligible to get provident. PF Act is, if the company has less than 20 employees, PF Act is not applicable. But the company can go for voluntary PF. Second, if the company has got more than 20 employees, this act will apply and company has to go for PF registration. All those companies who has opted to go for voluntary PF would be contributing provident fund at the rate of 10%. Any query on this, how this act become applicable? All those companies who are going as a choice under provident fund, which has got lesser number than 20, can take this PF code and the act can apply to them as well, but they would be paying only 10% as a PF contribution. Rest of the companies are paying 12%.
So when you say voluntary PF, does that mean that for employee 10% contribution and employer 10% contribution?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is company decision. Company can remain out of provident fund till they are not touching a figure of 20. But if the company is good and they want to extend this facility to their employees, even if they do not have 20 employees, they can go for PF. To them, some discount is given, and employee and employer both would be contributing 10%. But once they touches a figure of 20, they need to start contributing 12%.
Is this 10% fixed or can it be?
No, it is fixed. It is like
Okay.
as like 12% is fixed. You cannot make 11.5 to 12. It is fixed by law. It is fixed. It is not. It cannot be changed. Now, which all employees are eligible? We have seen two cases. Now, if I want to increase the category or various possibilities, there can be four possibilities. The very first possibility is all those cases where basic and DA is less or equal to 15,000, irrespective of whether the person is a new person or the joinee is a new joinee or it is a existing joinee or existing employee. When I'm using word new means the person is working for the very first time. There can be cases that the basic and DA is lesser than 15,000 if the and there is a new employee or there is an existing employee who is working since long. Second case can be basic and DA is more than 15,000 and this is his first job of the person. He was never a member of PF, what I'm trying to indicate. The third case can be basic in DA is more than 15,000 per month and the person is a member of PF. And fourth case can be basic in DA is more than 15,000 per month and the person was never a member of Provident Fund. So what you will do as a HR manager or employer to this category of employee, there is no choice. If the salary is less than 15,000 per month, again, when I'm talking about salary, I'm talking about basic and DA. So the person has to be taken in a provident fund. There is no choice. In this case, second case, blue box, where the person's salary is more than 15,000, more than the limit of provident fund, and it is his first job. He has never worked earlier, and he was never a member of provident fund. There is a choice with the employer. If the employer feels the employer can take this person under PF, and if they do not want to take this person, they can exclude this person because he was never a member of PF earlier and his salary is also beyond the limit given by Provident Fund. Third case is basic and DA is more than 15,000 and the person is a member of PF. As we discussed, there is no choice, not advisable choice, in fact, and the person needs to be taken into Provident Fund. Fourth case, where the person salary is more than 15,000 and he was never a member of PF. Again, there is a choice with the employer. I hope I am clear with the employee eligibility. There cannot be fifth case. Let's proceed. And all these cases now, how the PF contribution will go. In this case, where the total salary is less than 15,000, the PF contribution will go on entire salary. You cannot choose any allowance. that basic salary pay करेंगे and we will not pay on HRA. If it is less than 15,000, PF will go on entire salary. In this case, contribution can be capped at 15,000, or if the employer want, employer can pay provident fund on the total salary. In this case, where the basic and DA is more than 15,000 per month and the person was member of PF and the company has taken this person under PF, again there is a choice. Employer is not supposed to consider what earlier the employee was paying into PF. No, on the basis of last company PF contribution, you need to decide something, it is not there. So in a new company, the employer can decide as per their existing policy. Either the employer can contribute or cap their contribution at 15 or can pay on total salary. And in the fourth case also, there is a choice. When the company is taking this person for the first time and the person's salary is already more than 15,000. Contribution can be capped at 15. Cap means contribution is limiting. The employer is limiting their contribution at 15. Employer is saying that we will pay 12% on 15 only. Whatever is the salary of the employer, we will not consider that. Is this slide clear? Okay, let me assume it is clear to you. So okay, this might confuse you. Okay, let me say it. Look, now,
Before that, can I ask a question?
yes, yes, please.
What if a company is still contributing based on the basic wages and not the basic salary concept?
This is illegal now.
Okay.
The company is not complying with labor laws.
Okay. So, what will be the repercussions of that?
Repercussion can be many. The PF inspector can come to your company any moment. They can catch hold of the owner. They will ask for entire due amount from the date of starting of the company. They can fine you. They can jail the owner also. We will discuss all those penalties and damages and legal actions also in case any company is not adhering to the law.
Okay.
Okay, the judgment which came in June 19, they have not made this judgment in the from the previous day, because every corporate was doing the same activities. After the judgment, it has came into force that now PF would be for PF contribution, entire wages would be taken into consideration, which is called as basic wages. And yes, there is a option available with the employer to limit their contribution, but only paying on basic wages is not basic salary, is not legal now.
Okay.
Sir, I
So,
have a question over here.
Yes.
So what if a company receives a message from the labor and enforcement uh, this thing that
Inspector.
you have a due for 23 months, and the company is paying the, I mean, not paying, they are deducting the amount for 400 to 500 rupees from the employees.
And they are not paying to government.
Yeah.
This
What is
is
the legal consequences the company will face?
No, this is simple and plain theft case, right? Employer is deducting money from employee salary on the name of provident fund, and they are not paying it to PF organization.
So who will be the questioning authority? Labor and enforcement law team, or
Look, it is normally every state and every region has got regional PF commissioner, and you have received. Look, no other authority will issue a so cause notice to you.
Mhm.
If the labor, if the government notices come, that is the right authority. Uh, Look, any police department cannot write to you saying that you are not paying provident fund. They are not authorized to handle those cases. If the notices come, it has come from the right authority.
Okay.
Okay, labor welfare fund, government cannot ask you that you have not paid your income tax. For income tax, there is some other authority. So if the letter has come, government will not do all those kind of blunders that.
That time, see, the registered employees to the PF was less than 25, but now the company is running with more than 40 plus employees. So does they know that we are running with 40 plus employees, or they are still charging for the 20 plus employees, registered employees?
Look what normally happens. Now you would be fighting with the Provident Fund inspector saying that I have only 19 employee. They will ask balance sheet from the company.
Mhm.
Under the balance sheet, they will see that how many monies are booked under salary and wages.
So what
So
if the company is manipulating that we are paying so much, because it is all running under that system, right? What if the tally is showing that the EPF we are paying for 3,45,000, but we are not paying it?
look, it is very difficult for an employer to hide the fact that they are paying salary to employees. All these employees has got their PAN number. All these PAN number are linked to Aadhaar. All these Aadhaars are linked to UN, and all these UN is linked to Provident Fund.
So this is what the question is all about: is what if that in a remote area where the people who are coming and working to a company where they don't have any access to, where they don't have to provide any Aadhaar or PAN card or nothing at all, but we have 40 plus employees in an organization, but they don't have ESI, they don't have PF.
So
Options?
here I would like to add one thing.
Yes,
So
please.
Arun, whenever we file the PF challan, no, so at that time we file the PF challan for all those employees who are eligible in PF, who are registered in PF, right?
Mhm.
But also we need to furnish additional information, information of those employees, those number of employees who are not registered in PF with their gross salary. This information also we need to furnish whenever we generate and submit the challan in the PF portal. So this
Here,
is
sir,
a way where we are
I
informing
add
the
one thing
PFO.
over here. I'm talking about the MSME employees.
I'm saying about the 15 employees company as well, 20 employees company as well, and 13 employees company as well. Whenever you are
Who will
generating or
monitor
submitting
all those
challan,
things?
Look, Provident Fund is neither on the basis of location nor on the basis of category of companies. Under ESA, you will definitely find that the act is not applicable to all seasonal companies. But under PF, there is no difference neither on the basis of location nor on the basis of
Truly, I accept you, but my question is, who will monitor all those things?
PF. PF organization is the.
EPFO itself is an organization and it
Okay,
monitors everything about your
okay,
company.
okay. One day, one fine day, somebody will get caught who's not proving.
Yes, and the consequences are very high, and they must face, a lot of dues they need to pay to EPFO whenever they get caught.
Because I had a case that a lady who worked for the company for 8 months,
Hmm.
she get into a PF office. She was like, she doesn't know about her UAN number because she was uneducated,
Hmm. Hmm.
and she was like telling me that, sir, I want to retrieve my
Withdraw.
PF amount. And
Right.
when she went there is no UAN number, there is no PF amount. When she called back the owner, owner said that, okay, this is what your PF amount, we'll pay you back 7,000 rupees or something. He said.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that is truly illegal. I know that.
Yes,
Who
yes.
will be the authoritative person who will be questioning the owner, or because there
EPFO,
should be some
EPFO.
person who have to question, right?
Yes,
See,
PF.
whenever if any manipulation employer does in the records or anything, or if there is any gaps in the payment of EPF returns, the EPFO monitors all those things, and regularly they give the notices to the organization. Even the notices are also available on the EPF portals itself. You will not find the hard copy notices coming to your offices. It
Mhm.
will flash on your portal itself,
Okay.
right? They may regularly visit also in your organization for the inspection. They can ask for any record they want.
But 4 years, sir, nobody has now came to our company.
Yeah, that happens. See, this is the case that in some location, some remote location, the EPFO is not that active.
Mhm.
right? Quite possible the regional office there is
What
quite
will
far
be the
away.
solution in the remote areas when employees getting suffer,
Hmm. Hmm.
they get suffer like in terms of like all those things. So what will be the solution that we as a HR, what we can do to them?
We need to be compliant. We
So
need to follow all the rules and regulations whatever EPFO is indicating us to do, right? And
what if
see,
it should say,
right now the employees are suffering, but the day they'll get caught, the company will suffer a lot.
Yeah, Dheeraj, let me cut it short. I don't. There is no option. In fact, once it is a law, it is a law. You need to adhere. As a HR manager, you need to convince your employer that, sir, we need to extend this
aware the
facility.
policy?
Otherwise, the law will take more money than what is required to be paid to them,
Okay, okay.
and penalties are quite huge. Ultimately, all these employees would be getting their due benefit. If any, since last 4 years, if the employer is not caught, his luck is very good. But if any employee complains on a single complaint, the PF will come to your office, and it is very difficult. Trust me, nowadays all employees are so aware of their benefits. You cannot hide anyone's salary. Everything is linked with everything. If your PAN is getting money, they will definitely find out on this PAN money is coming from
I fully
which.
understand, sir.
Okay.
I just asked you just because this is in a remote area. That's why I asking you because
No, there is.
these things are happening. That's why I asked you. Nothing.
Got your point. There is no excuse on the basis of remote locations.
Okay.
Fine. Let's
Yeah,
come
yeah.
back to this.
Sorry.
So on this, then it's all right. On contributions from employer side is clear. Now there can be varied contributions also. This is contribution from employee side. We have seen that employer has a choice to limit their contribution up to 15,000. Even if the employee's salary is 20,000 or 25,000, employer can say that I would be contributing only on 15 and I do not want to contribute on higher salary. Yes, employer can do that. Similarly, employee has also many choices. Employee can contribute on the same salary on which the employer is contributing, means same contribution will go from both the sides. Employee can contribute 12% on the total salary. An employee can say that I do not want to limit my contribution on 15 and I want to pay on the entire salary. In this case, the employee contribution would be higher than the employer. Employer has limited their contribution on 15, whereas employee is not limiting. Employee can also decide to contribute more than 12%. Employee can decide to go for 15%, 20%, 50%. They can go for higher contribution also. In this case also, there would be more contribution would be more than the employer. An employee can decide to contribute 100% of his basic and DA as voluntary PF. Till what percentage employee can go? Employee can go up to 100%. Let's have a look on this Excel sheet. This is a salary structure, dummy salary structure, which we have mentioned. On the left hand side, this is salary structure. Basic salary is 16, HRA, the total salary is 13,000. Now, employer has got, on this salary, employer has got three possibilities or options. Employer can contribute on the 15 by capping their contribution on 15, which law is asking, saying employer is free to contribute on 16,000, the total basic salary also. And third option is employer is also free to contribute on total 30,000. Employer, all these good names, all Tata group of companies, which are very employer friendly, they do not limit their contribution, neither on basic nor on 15K. They pay salary on they pay salary on entire basic salary, whatever is the salary. So employer is also free to contribute on the total gross salary. Whereas employee has got one more option apart from above three. Employee can also contribute on PF by limiting their contribution at 15. Employee can pay on total basic salary. Employee can also pay on total monthly gross salary, and employee can contribute 100% of his basic as VPF. VPF is Voluntary Provident Fund. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Now we are clear on uh, the eligibility part, the applicability part, and the contribution part. Now we have seen that employee and employer, they all have various possibilities. They can choose and pick on which amount they want to contribute. But uh, whatever contribution goes to provident fund, that goes in this manner. The entire 12% which employee contribute goes to provident fund. Employer contribute 13%. And, we will justify why it is 13 and why not 12. Employee contribute 12% and the entire money goes into provident fund. Employer contribute 13%, out of which 8.33% goes into pension fund, 3.67% goes into provident fund, 0.5% goes into EDLI, which is employee deposit linked insurance, the insurance which we have discussed. Benefit under this is extended to employee in case of death only. And third, last one is 0.5% is paid by employer as PF administration charges also. PF organization, PF government takes some charges from the employer to run their organization. So employer contribute 13% on whatever amount they are deciding, either 15, 16 or total gross. And out of this 13%, these are the various schemes or funds on which money goes. 8.3 goes in pension, 3.6 in PF, zero point 0.5 in ADLI, and zero point 0.5 in admin charges. So in this way, uh, don't look in the account section. Account section is for the convenience of provident fund. This is not bank account. These are heads. These are categories. They have named it account one, account two, which stands for different benefits and
Sir,
schemes.
sorry to interrupt you. I have a question over here. Now, recently, Modi has announced that they have
Who has
raised
announced?
Modi.
Acha, okay, acha, PM, okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
they have. I mean, he has told that they have increased the percentage of pension interest. Or
yes, I will come to you.
yeah,
Vivek, okay. Provident fund every year,
it is temporary
provident
or permanent.
employer will increase what interest? There is nothing called interest with employer. It is interest given on the money which is getting deposited in the provident fund. Provident fund organization give interest on the money which is coming to them every month. Like uh, your PF is going to provident fund organization. Provident fund organization would be giving interest on that amount, which is
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
deposited.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, so this interest rate is announced every year. Every year it is differing, and this is the highest rate of interest in country. All banks give 6-7%.
Uh-huh.
Provident Fund gives 8.5%. That this year interest rate is last year interest rate is 8.5%. So whatever your contribution is going in Provident Fund, you are getting an interest also from the PF organization. This is the benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, account one is provident fund account where employer is contributing 3.67, which we have seen in the last slide,
Mm-hmm.
and the total 100% share of employees going into this account. So total 15.67% goes into provident fund in the name of employee, and whatever amount is getting
But it is
deposited.
truly on the employer side, right?
Sorry, employer side, I didn't get you.
No, no. The interest amount what they have raised is truly on the employer side or employee side.
Interest is they are giving interest on the money which is getting deposited with them, and
Yeah,
this money is
both
employees
employee and
money.
employer is getting deposited, right?
Yes.
So in overall the term they are depositing. I mean, raise the interest or just on the employer side or the employee side. That is what
No,
my
no,
question.
interest on the total amount which is getting deposited. Interest on 15.67% of contribution.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. So it's truly on the benefit of employee.
Yes, 200%. Every month, PF amount is getting deposited, and on that amount, PF is giving interest to you. If you
Mm.
have contributed 100 rupees in the entire year, government is giving you 8 rupees more as a interest. So your total money is 108 rupees. 100 rupees was PF contribution by you and your employer, and 8 rupees is given by Provident Fund. This is
Okay.
interest.
Yep,
The
yep.
same interest I am talking about, which banks are giving.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
okay. Now it's
And
understood. Thank you so much.
account 2 is PF admin charges, in which 0.50% goes, and only employer is paying in this account. Similarly, in under pension fund, 8.33% goes from employer share. An employee is not paying anything in the pension fund. An EDLI, same as PF admin, in an EDLI, which is insurance for employee, only employer is paying and they pay 0.5%. So, as an employee, your entire money goes into provident fund, but employer is contributing for the employee on these three accounts as well. Pension fund is getting accumulated with the contribution of employer, and employer is also paying some admin charges to PF government, and employer is also paying your uh, insurance premium of EDLI to government. So the total contribution which goes to PF government is 25%, 12% from employee, and 13% of employer share. Any query on this slide? No. Let's proceed.
Sir,
Yes, sir. Okay, let's proceed. Now, okay, you let's understand from the Excel. Suppose anybody's salary is this much. Now, what are the options? Dheeraj, is this would be beneficial, or we have seen the Excel sheet. Now, PF by company can be,
sir, can you make it this breakage for a salary of 50,000, please?
okay, you want to keep any other allowance on this?
Yeah, any allowances like other allowance or bonus, something like that.
Maybe overtime or variable pay, something like that.
Overtime and variable pay is not eligible for the PF contribution.
Okay, fine. Let me show you another sheet of mine which already has calculations. Okay, we have kept basic salary, house rent allowance, conveyance allowance, telephone allowance, and special allowance, right? And you want to make a CTC breakup of 50,000 as gross salary, right?
Yep.
Okay. The way we design salary is something different. We go into data, we select what if analysis, we go into goal seek, we select the cell where we need value, we put the value which we are looking for. Arun has said 50,000 ka breakup, so I have mentioned 50,000. Now I am allotting a cell to Excel to calculate the entire salary breakup. Now I have clicked OK, and the entire salary has got calculated. Okay, so we have got this breakup of 50,000. So basic salary is 24. Now what all options employer is having? Employer can limit at 15,000. An employer will say that I will pay 12%. Okay. Now there is a formula. Let me try. This can be formula. Huh? If basic salary is more than 15,000, then limit PF contribution on 15, or else take this value multiplied by 12. So in this case, what formula I have used? I have said Excel that Try to find out whether the basic salary is more than 15 or not. If it is more than 15, take 15 only. And if it is not more than 15, calculate on the exact salary. So employer can contribute on 18, employer can pay on entire basic also. Employer is free. Employer can pay this amount also as PF. Employer will say, I do not want to contribute. I do not want to limit. This is how all Tata Group of company and all big companies, talk about IBM, Google, Wipro, Infosys, they normally do not contribute. They normally do not limit their contribution at 15. So employer can limit contribution at 15. Employer can pay on entire basic. Employer can pay on entire gross also, which is 50. Okay. This is the minimum which employer has to follow. Below this, employer cannot pay. If employer want, they can pay on entire basic of 24. They are not limiting their contribution on 15. If employer want, they can pay on entire 50 also, 6,000 also. Okay, is this clear? Similarly, employee has got these many choices, plus one more, 100% of their basic salary. This is basic salary only. This entire is basic wages. Is this clear? Okay, neither you are saying yes nor no.
Yes, sir.
So fine. So before we enter into this PF withdrawal, which is slightly tricky, I hope we are clear on PF eligibility. This act is applicable to which all company. We are also clear on which all employees are eligible to be taken into provident fund. We are also clear on different rates, different possibilities of PF contribution. All this money on which we are paying PF is called PF wages. If you are paying PF wages on 15, 15 is PF wages. If you are paying on entire basic, 24,631 is PF wages. If you are paying PF wages on entire 50, this total 50 would be your provident fund wages. This is one we have discussed PF contributions only, but there are other contributions also which goes into pension fund and EDLI.
Can we please do an example of 10,000 salary?
Gross salary.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Look, I will again do the same thing. I will go into data, what if analysis, goal seg. We are looking for value in this cell, and this is what we are looking for 10,000. And I am allotting this cell to Excel to calculate 10,000. Look, every cell has got some formula. The entire sheet is formula driven. This is why all other cells are getting calculated. So 10,000 may the basic salary which is coming is 4926, but you need to see the minimum wages of that state. All these details will come under compensation and benefit for the module. But whenever you are designing CTC and Excel or salary and Excel for any employee, you need to keep in mind the minimum wages. No doubt you have taken 50% or 49% as basic salary, but keeping in mind the minimum wages should not be more than this amount. You cannot decide your basic salary as lesser than the minimum wages. Fine. So we were discussing about the breakup of 10,000. On 10,000, we have decided this, and these are the various uh, different payouts.
Here, the first one, employer can limit at 15,000. Shouldn't it be basic salary plus HRA plus conveyance
Look,
and
and the formula which we had used here is the this was the formula. What we
correct?
said, if the basic salary is more than 15, then take 15. Otherwise, take the original amount which is there. So 12% is calculated on 4926.
But in previous one of the slide, you mentioned that there was a Supreme Court order which
Yes,
said
yes.
that Now the basic salary should be
Okay,
considered,
very
which
good.
includes,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
So, sir, here I
So
would
it's with
want to.
D7, huh? Okay, okay.
So,
S-
sir, here I would like to add one thing. See, till the time the gross wages is less than 15,000, in that case, there is no option that you can exclude any allowances, right? But if the basic salary is more than 15,000, then you have the option that you can calculate the PF on basic itself,
Please
right?
come again with your first statement, Dheeraj. If the
If
total
the
salary,
total gross salary of the
huh?
employee is less than 15,000,
Correct, correct.
in that case we do not have the option to go for basic salary for the PF calculation. In that case, we have to mandatorily take gross salary as PF wage for the PF contribution, right? If the basic salary is more than 15,000, in that case you can take basic salary itself.
All options are only available when the basic and DA is more than 15,000. See the first case. If the basic and DA is less or equal to 15, PF contribution will go on entire salary, total salary. No doubt, in this Excel sheet, I was calculating on PF, but it should, since the salary is less than 15, now the PF would be getting calculated in gross salary. 15,000 capping is still there. Uh, In this case, 12% is getting calculated on 10. What if the person's total salary is this 20? No doubt the salary is 20, but PF is getting calculated on 15 only. If it is less than 15, then PF is getting calculated on total salary. Is this clear? If the basic and DA is less or equal to 15, the contribution will go on total salary when the basic and DA is less than 15. Or we are
No,
confusing you more.
no,
Yes.
I'm not getting confused. In that 15,000, what if 3,000 was variable pay?
Variable pay is not coming under the definition of wages. You can exclude variable pay. All those payments which are not fixed in nature can be excluded from Provident Fund. Variable pay, is this variable pay paid every month?
May not
No.
be, may
No.
not be.
Then this is not regular in nature. You can exclude all those payments which are not regular in nature. We have seen this judgment of PF judgment. See the very first sentence, allowances which are variable in nature, which can be excluded. All these payments can be excluded. All these performance linked incentive or variable pay which are paid either on quarterly basis or annual basis, these amounts are not coming under Provident Fund. All those which are fixed. Look, HRA was fixed, conveyance was fixed, special allowance was fixed. Even then, the company was not paying. So, Supreme Court has said that you can exclude only those allowances, those payments which are variable in nature, which are not fixed. But if it is fixed, you are paying every month, then that amount needs to be taken into Provident Fund. Okay, so now the this is the correct formula. Now you once you have started, take this example. Once you have started paying Provident Fund on 15, PF will not ask you which amount you have taken, which amount you have not taken. In this case, where the person's salary is 20,000, but we are paying PF on 15,000, you are complying with the law. You are paying Provident Fund on 15 means you are done. You are 100% correct. Now, nobody can come and ask you which all allowances you have taken to calculate 15,000. Now, it is not valid question. You are paying 15, you are done with your compliance part. I guess I am confusing you all
No, no,
people.
no, I am clear. Thank you.
Okay. So if it is less than 15, there is no choice. If it is more than 15, you can limit your contribution on 15. So the formula says that only. If it is more than 15, calculate on 15. If it is less, then calculate on the exact lesser amount. Okay. Anyone has got any query? So on contributions calculation, we are clear, huh? And Now let's talk about this withdrawal part. Okay. Now, if you are contributing to Provident Fund government every month, an employer is also contributing for you to PF, you get many benefit, and you can withdraw your Provident Fund money which is getting deposited every year, every month, and on that the PF government is giving you annual interest also. So PF can be withdrawal. There can be two cases. Either you can withdraw PF as advance. This advance PF withdrawal can happen while working. You are working in the company and you want some money for regions, uh, for some important regions. So you can go for withdrawing some PF amount, which is called as advance PF, by applying through Form 31. We will see what are the regions on which PF government is allowing you to withdraw money from your Provident Fund saving account. Second is when you have left the job and you want some money. Normally, in normal case, employees are allowed to apply for Provident Fund with Provident Fund money only after 60 days from the date of exit. Once from the date you have left the services, post 60 days, you are allowed to apply for Provident Fund. But if you are in need, you can apply within 30 days also, means after 30 days, but you will get only 75% of total PF fund which is there.
Sir, I
And
have a question over here that
yes,
when we apply for this PF amount, do we get the pension amount as well?
no, will be advance is given from your provident fund accumulated money only. This money which is lying in pension fund, 8.33 from employer side was going into pension. Pension money will not be touched. All this withdrawal, advance, everything will come from your provident fund amount.
So when we can, retrieve our,
Pension.
pension? Yeah.
Uh, Give me some time. Let me come to that slide also. We will speak uh, on pension also in detail. Okay, so advance, you can apply for advance while working by filling Form 31. You can also apply for advance after leaving. Normally, it is allowed after post 60 days, but after 30 days, you can apply for 75% of the total PF fund, and the same Form 31 is used. Second case is full and final settlement. When you are taking your entire money from Provident Fund and from pension also. This full and final settlement can happen up in the cases of resignation. Once you have resigned from services and after 60 days, you can apply for the entire money which is there in the Provident Fund and which is there in the pension fund. For Provident Fund, you need to fill Form 19, and for pension fund, you need to fill Forms 10C. Look, in the above case, the Provident Fund is allowing you to take some money as advance. In case of resignation also, normally after 60 days, you are allowed to get the full amount, but before 60 days and post 30 days, they are allowing you to take some money up to an extent of 75%. If you want to take the entire money, full and final settlement, then you need to wait for 60 days to apply for your entire money. You will get entire money which is there in Provident Fund and entire money which is there in the pension fund. For these two, you need to fill different forms. Okay, and full and final settlement can also happen in the case of retirement. When you have attained the age of 58 and you have retired, you have superannuated. And to get the PF fund, you need to fill Form 19, which is the same form in the which is applied in the case of resignation. And once you have attained the age of 58, you are eligible to get pension as well. To start your pension, you need to fill Form 10D. We will discuss these forms as well. And full and final settlement also happen in the case of death of the PF member or employee. In that case, the claim is done by nominee by filling the Form 20. So these many forms are there. Form 3131 for PF advance or PF withdrawal. In case of full and final settlement, Form 19 and 10C comes. Resignation for the entire money will be given to you only after 60 days. Or in case of retirement, you can take that by applying immediately. There is no waiting period of 60 days, I guess. And in case of death, it is also there is no waiting period, and PF can be applied by the nominee by using Form 20.
So, in case you have applied for 75% of PF funds after 30 days of resignation, so rest 25% you apply after 60 days
60,
completion.
correct, correct.
Okay, okay.
And advance, as we seen, while working for multiple reasons. Let me share you what are the reasons on the basis of which employee can apply PF advance while working. While working, you can apply for advance from Provident Fund on these many grounds. Look, let's have a look one by one. Para 68B. You can apply for advance from Provident Fund on the basis of purchase of house, flat, construction of home, including acquisition of site. For this purpose also, buying a house, flat, or constructing your own house, or purchasing land, you can apply for Provident Fund advance. But this is the eligibility criteria. You must have worked and contribution must have gone for 5 years. And you can apply for home or this advance under this head only once in your lifetime.
Sir, all this comes under taxable income.
PF, no, there is a limit. If the PF amount is not that big, it is not taxable. Dheeraj, what is your take on that?
See, if the
If
PF withdrawal is done before
before 5
5
years,
and the PF withdrawal amount is more than 50,000, in that case, the TDS is applicable on that amount. But if the withdrawal is done after 5 years, the TDS is not applicable on that.
and hold, Arun, these all are advance.
Okay.
So advance will not attract any tax.
Okay.
Ad-
So what
ad-
if an employee has been terminated and he is taking his PF after 60 days, then he's
huh?
withdrawing his amount and he is not employable. I mean, he is not working at all.
Correct.
Comes under taxable income.
Yeah, that would be the full and final settlement case. And if the service is less than 5 years, it will attract tax.
Look, we have seen this building house wala case. Now people can apply for advance in some special cases. What are these cases? In case of lockdown or closure of the company,
Mm-hmm.
employee has not received wages for more than 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
This is also one of a case. Discharge, dismissal, retrenchment of members. In that case also, this PF money is employee money. No doubt employee will get at any he that is his money only which the government is taking care of. So it will definitely come to employee only. But while working, these are the cases which is while working cases, or people has not left. Again, there is this discharge. Well, these are advanced cases which person can apply by
So
building house.
under which article this comes under, that in a PF closure amount will comes under.
Which one? Please come again.
So under which if I am filing a tax, these full and final settlement will be comes under which I mean which act, like form I mean like article 68H, or in which this thing this comes under when it comes under taxable income.
You are taking me to Income Tax Act now.
So
So I need to check that. I will definitely come back to you after checking. This
no
PF
problem.
money is coming under which? Look, it will come under this gross income, or I don't know whether it will come under gross income or not. We need to check that.
I have multiple incomes. It will comes under a different acts. I know that. So I just want to know that, especially if we are retrieving that PF amount with the pension, I don't know in which act it will comes under. That's what I am asking. No issues.
You want to know under which head this PF? money will come for taxable income.
Yeah.
He
We will
wants to
come
know
back.
this section. So section, I'll confirm you, Arun. That is around
Mm.
80C where it will reflect.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
I'll confirm you on that.
Yeah, yeah. So no issues, sir. You can carry on.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Sorry.
As an employee, you can also withdraw or take advance on the grounds of marriage, self marriage, daughter's marriage, son marriage, brother and sister's marriage also. You can also apply for advance for higher education for self or son and daughter. You all these physically handicapped employees, they can also apply for advance for purchasing equipment for minimizing hardship on account of handicap. So all these provisions are there, and this speaks about how much money the employee can take.
For our higher education, it is comes under that abroad education.
Look, a certificate, you need to furnish a certificate regarding course of study and estimated experience from the head of institutions. Yes, why not?
That can be anything which is
Government is
related to
not saying
education.
that you are required to study in India only. Higher education is higher education, whether you're taking it from India or abroad. If you're going for that, you are allowed to take money. You need to submit the necessary documents, even if
Okay,
it is okay. So country wise, it is not.
okay.
So we were discussing this on various, on which all grounds the person can apply for advance. And look, what would the amount? See a case. On the very first case which we have seen is purchase of house flat, purchase of site, and what is the amount which will be paid for purchase of site? 24 months basic wages and DA for purchase of house, or total of employees and employer share, or the total cost of the house or site, whichever is least. So the law is very clear. This is the purpose on which all grounds you can take. This is coming under which act? What is the amount which will be paid? 24-month or the total cost or whichever is less. Similarly, for renovation of your house, you can take 12 month of basic or employee share with interest or the cost, whichever is less. And how many times you can take is also mentioned there. For house, you can take only one. For let's see other cases. For this marriage of self, daughter, son, and brother, sister, you can apply three times in your lifetime. And what is the amount which would be payable maximum? 50% of the employee share with interest. Whatever contribution, your entire contribution has gone into provident fund. So 50% of that you are eligible to get under these heads. Okay, we would be sending you this PDF file also, which speaks about all detail of uh, instruction and guidance for advances to be claimed through Form 31.
When you say membership period here, that can be from multiple companies also, right?
Yes, again, very good. Yes, this can be, this is total contribution period for which you have contributed. It can be from multiple employer. It can be with breaks as well. Suppose you have worked for 2 years in company one, and then you have not worked for 2 months, and again you join company two. So yes, it can be from multiple employer. It,
If the break is for a longer duration, say 1 year or 1.5 year, is that
no,
also considered?
it will not get affected till the time you are not withdrawing your money. Suppose you have worked for 10 years from 2020 to 2010 to 20, but in 2015 you have withdrawn your previous 5 years total money, full and final settlement you have done, then that contribution period will be zero. That contribution period will not be counted for understanding this 5 year. Yes, if it is, if any gap is there, that would not bother or that would not hamper this calculation of 5 years. It should be uh, without withdrawal contribution for 5 years. Okay. Even if there is a break, that would not hamper.
Okay, thank you.
You have contributed for 2013 and 14, then there is a break. Again, you started working in 2016, and again you contributed for 2 years. All these will come in continuous only. Only thing is that the person should not withdraw their PF money or full and final settlement na kiya ho. Otherwise, that would be treated as gap, and continuity will be hampered. Okay, every region has got some kind of eligibility. The amount which would be payable is also mentioned. For a house, it is 5 years. For repay, this is 10 years from withdrawal. Let's see some different case. For marriage, self, daughter, son, brother, it is 7 year contribution is required. Okay, so this varies. For this purchasing of equipment by handicapped person, there is no eligibility criteria. In the very first month or the second month or after 1 year, the person can apply for this. Okay. So withdrawal case, we have seen these are the purchasing house, sickness. For sickness also, they do not ask for any kind of eligibility. Let's see if they what the sickness clause for treatment for his her son treatment. Again, the eligibility criteria is NA. No minimum service period is required. Even if you want to take advance or loan on for this purpose treatment, there is no minimum service period is required. You can apply after 1 year or 2 year also. In other cases, it is 5 years, 7 years sort of. For treatment on family, again, there is no eligibility criteria. You can apply for that, and you would be getting 6 months basic wages or employee share with interest, whichever is least. In all these advanced cases, the payment is done from your PF money. Pension is not getting disturbed. Okay, can we proceed? Next, PF withdrawal we have seen. If you have any question, please feel free to ask, or feel free to come back at a later stage also whenever we will be having new class or the next class, and उस समय कुछ क्वेश्चन आता है तो feel free to put that question. And we have seen the PF advance withdrawal. What are the regions on the basis of which we can apply, and what is the amount which we would be getting? Now we are done with Provident Fund, the first scheme. Second scheme is Employees Pension Scheme. And what is the eligibility? Who all are eligible to get pension? Pension is payable, or pension starts only, or only those employees are eligible to get pension who has attained age of 58 years and who has contributed minimum 10 years of service. Again, there should not be any withdrawal. If you are contributing from 2010 to 2020, and in first 3 years after working you have withdrawn the total money, you have done full and final settlement, then those 3 years would not be counted. Am I able to clear what I'm trying to say? Suppose you are contributing from 2010 and till 20, this is 10 year, right? And what you have done in 2013, you have done full and final settlement and you have withdrawn your
Pension.
entire PF amount, including your PF and pension both. So now your this year would be counted, not entire 10, because after 3 years or in the fourth year, you have done full and final settlement with your this money. You have taken the entire money. So the pension, which is asking about minimum 10 years of service or contribution, should have this without withdrawal service periods. Okay, now again, in 2024, this person would be eligible to get the pension. So the
Sir, I have a question over here. That is it mandatory that I can only withdraw my pension amount, I mean PF amount, and I can sustain with my pension amount?
yes, you can leave your pension amount there. Okay, we have we have seen these cases, right? All these advance which are paid from PF. Full and final settlement. If you want after resignation after 60 days, you have only filled form 19 and you have not filled form 10. To get this pension, you need to claim from a different form. To get PF, you need to claim from for a different form. So you have only filled form 19 and you are only asking for your money which is there in the provident fund, and you have not applied for pension money by form 10C. So you are leaving your pension fund with the government and you are taking only PF money. Okay, you can do that. You can only opt for provident fund. So the eligibility for pension is 58 years of age and minimum 10 years of service. And what are the benefits once any person becomes eligible or achieve this much 58 years of age and minimum 10 years of service? The person can withdraw the money. Person can ask for a scheme certificate which speaks about your contribution, your total period, your detail, your nominee detail. Why this certificate is taken? You do not want to withdraw the pension money and you want to further continue. And whenever you will join new company, nowadays people hardly goes for a scheme certificate in a hard copy, but the basic purpose of getting a scheme certificate is taking a certificate from provident saying that this much money is lying in your pension fund, and since this much time you are contributing. To further continue this contribution for pension, this certificate is taken. And the third option is you can start your monthly pension once you have attained the age of 58 years and minimum 10 years. Once you have achieved the age of 58 years, you ceases to be a member of Provident Pension Fund. After 58 years, it is mandatory that you would be excluded from pension. You can continue as PF member, but you will not remain a member of pension fund. So, if you are working after 58 years of age in the same company where you are working currently, all these contributions deduction would be same, but your money will not go into into pension fund account. The 8.33% which employer is paying into pension fund, that money will stop going in that fund. That money will be diverted into provident fund. So in pension fund, you cannot contribute beyond 58 years of age. Once you achieve 8 years, you get retired from provident fund or pension fund. Understand in this way. After 58 years of age, you cannot remain into pension. You can continue as a PF member, but pension money, any amount which was going in your pension fund will not go. Okay. This is this happened mandatorily. Even if you and your employer wants, you cannot contribute into pension fund after the age of 58 years.
I didn't understand the first point, withdrawal benefit.
You
It's when
can
you leave the organization, you can withdraw the pension amount as well.
you do not want to have uh, acha, what you are saying, Dheeraj, the pension amount and PF amount both can,
Yes.
you are saying that full and final settlement can be done, right?
Ha, ha.
The entire money can be taken and people, the employee is not okay to go for monthly pension.
Okay, on
These
completion of 58 years, you mean to say?
No, no, no.
Yes.
See, let's understand it this way. This withdrawal benefit and the scheme certificate is applicable in case when the employee leaves an organization, and in case of full and final settlement, they can withdraw entire pension amount also and PF amount also, right? So if they withdraw their pension amount, it would be withdrawal benefit of pension fund. Second is the scheme certificate. When they do not want to withdraw the pension amount and they want to apply for a scheme certificate, which is a document which proves that this person has contributed in the pension fund for this much year, right? So that's why they apply for a scheme certificate.
And this is how the scheme
uh,
certificate
so
looks.
this is a replica of the scheme certificate, in which if you see the details of employees given over there, his nominee details are there, his pensionable salary is mentioned on which the pension will be calculated, and his last one salary is also mentioned over here.
Last basic salary also, total actual service 7 year, 10 days, date of attend 58 years on 2nd December 2019. He has attained the age of 58 years. All these details are there, which is scheme certificate. Uh, Over to you, Dheeraj.
Yes.
Where is the slide gone? Okay.
Yeah, here. And the monthly pension is the case when the employee becomes eligible for the monthly pension. And the criteria is that the employee has attained the age of 58 years and have served for at least 10 years. When we say the 10 years service, it means that 10 years contribution in the pension fund should be there, right? If the employee has withdrawn his pension fund, that number of years becomes void. So this means that the employee's age should be 58 years and the contribution of 10 years should be there in the pension fund. If these two criteria are fulfilled, then the employee is eligible for this monthly pension also.
Look, employee can take his PF fund, entire PF fund the person can take, and from the pension fund, he will start getting monthly pension. Every month till the person survives, the person will be getting pension from the PF department.
Okay, say for example, at the age of 45, this employee is resigning and he doesn't want to continue working anywhere. So, in that
Okay?
case, he can withdraw his entire PF and withdraw his entire pension fund also.
Yes.
Not
The
even
age,
at the age of 48 only, like even if he
the
has
age
worked for 1 year.
The age which she has said, definitely yes. We will take few more cases at what age one can withdraw, at what age one can start the reduced pension also. But these three, yeah, at 45, at before completion of 10 years, at any given point of time, the person can withdraw the entire money from Provident Fund, including pension and PF.
Okay, without completing the 10 years, also, you mean to say?
Yes.
Okay.
Withdrawal is, look, pension only starts when you complete 10 years. We are saying that withdrawal is always possible before the completion of 10 year. Entire withdrawal is always possible. Pension will only start once you uh, touches touch 10 years. Before that, at 7 years or 8 years, you have right to take entire your money back from PF and pension both.
You mean the monthly pension will start after these two criteria of
Yes,
eligibility?
yes. We are
Okay,
talking about monthly pension.
okay.
And one surprising thing is that monthly pension of yours cannot, in any case, it will not go beyond uh, 7,500. I have lost that. We have seen, give me a moment, where my Excel sheet has gone. Fine. Uh, Tika, let me come back to this only. Monthly pension, we have seen that monthly pension cannot be more than 7,500, whatever is your salary. We have seen that in Provident Fund, 12% is contributed by employee and employer, which can be increased also. Okay. And we have seen that 8.33% is contributed in pension fund by the employer. Even if the employer want or wishes to contribute more in pension fund, they are not allowed to. Yes, we will look in this case. The employer can contribute on 15,000. Employer can also contribute on total 20,000. But when we contribute in pension, it will always be 8.33% on 15,000 or the actual lesser salary. In this case, where the total salary of the person is 20K, take this example, where the basic is also more than 15 and total salary is 32,480. Employer is free to contribute on 16. Employer is also free to limit at 15. But when it comes to pension fund, there is no choice. Employer would be contributing on 15 only. 8.33% of 15. On this cannot be changed. Employer, even if the employer wants, he cannot contribute on 16,000. Even if the employer want, they cannot contribute on 32. It is mandatorily on 15,000 limit. If the salary is less, okay, it will go on the lesser amount. But if the salary is more, what I am trying to say is pension contribution to pension fund cannot be increased beyond this. 8.33% of 15,000 is 1250 rupees. So in pension, you will never find contribution more than this 1250 rupees. So this is why the maximum pension one can get is 7,500 per month only. Contribution in PF can be increased, can vary, but contribution in pension cannot be increased beyond 15,000 of limit. Okay. And similarly, in EDLI, in which we contribute 0.5%, this also goes on 15,000. There is a mandatory capping of 15. Even if the employer wants, they cannot contribute more in EDLI, and this is 75 rupees. So you will not find any contribution more than 1250 rupees in pension, and you will never see any contribution going more than 75 rupees in EDLI. PF is something which can be changed. You can increase. Employer can increase, employee can increase. On these account, pension and EDLI, only employer is contributing and they are not allowed to contribute more than this. Am I clear? Any query on this? Okay. Now, some important points regarding pension. On death of an employee while in service, the family, spouse and children below 25 years is eligible to receive monthly family pension. The monthly pension is calculated with the reference of age, at what age the person has died or left, the wage and service of the member. Member means employee. Age and service determines the eligibility for a particular type of benefit. Age, where the person has attained 58 years. Service, the person has completed 10 years of contribution. Now the person is eligible to get pension. Wage enables the quantum. Depending upon the salary, pension amount can be lesser as well, but maximum it would be 7,500. Since more contribution in pension is not allowed, there cannot be higher pension than 7,500. And the formula of calculating pension is pensionable salary multiplied by service period divided by 70. Pensionable salary is average salary of last 12 months on which PF is contributed. I repeat, pensionable salary is average of last 1 year, last 12 months salary on which PF is contributed. It is average of PF wages of last 12 months multiplied by service period for number of years for which the person is worked and divided by 70. This pensionable amount or pension amount is never calculated by employee nor by employer. It is calculated by Provident Fund organization. And what pension would be payable to any employee is something which is decided by PF and they make the payment. The pension comes from PF department only. So no HR professional or no employer do any kind of calculation regarding this pension amount. Any query on this? Pension we have seen who is eligible and what are the benefits one can get after becoming eligible, how the pension is calculated. This is the formula of calculating pension, which is purely with Provident Fund organization only. I, you, or any employer do not calculate pension amount. Now, these can be the various possibilities regarding pension. The first case is when the service period is below 10 years, when the person has not contributed for 10 years and the person's age is also below 58 years. This is the question you asked. The person age is 48 years. In this case, person has option of getting the scheme certificate. If he wants to further continue, he if he further wants to continue working and wants to contribute in PF, he can ask for scheme certificate, or the person can withdraw the entire money. If the contribution is less than 10 years and age is also less than 58 years, the person can ask for a scheme certificate or payment of withdrawal benefit. The person can withdraw the entire money. Second case is when the service is below 10 years, but the person has attained 58 years. In this case, scheme certificate, look, after 58 years, this person would not be eligible to contribute into PF, into pension fund. After 58 years, no money goes into pension fund. So this person is left with only withdrawal benefit. The pension will not start because he has not completed 10 year of contribution. So this person cannot go for monthly pension. He can only withdraw the entire money. Are things getting cleared?
Yeah, it's clear.
And the third case can be where the person is contributed for 10 years and above, but the age is below 58 years. In that case, the person can take this scheme certificate. And very similar to mm, the third and fifth case, if you see, third and fifth, these are very similar, where the person is has contributed for 10 years and above, and now he is not in employment but has completed 50 years and has not attained 58 years. His age is in between 50 to 58. This person can go for reduced early monthly pension. Reduced early monthly pension can be an option where the person has completed 10 years and is not working now and has not completed 58 years of age but has completed 50 years of age. And see the fourth case where the person has completed 10 years of service and attained 58 years of age also, and irrespective whether the person is working or not working, he can go for monthly pension. There can be a case where the person is getting monthly pension and he is getting salary from some company also. This can be a case when one of your employee has contributed for more than 10 years, has attained 58 years of age, and is still continuing in your company as an employee. So you would not stop his PF contribution. You will only stop his pension fund or pension contribution, but that money will go into provident fund. It is not like that you will contribute lesser amount. You will contribute the entire 12%, but in spite of money going into pension fund, it will start going into provident fund. Since the person has attained the age of 58 years, no money would be accepted in pension fund. So the case can be the person is still working and getting salary and is also applied for monthly pension, and that is also started. Okay, and the sixth case is when the person has met with an accident while during the employment and he has become permanent disabled. He has lost his entire earning capacity. On the basis of loss of earning capacity, this disablement percentage is decided. A carpenter losing his both hands has lost his 100% earning capacity, or a signal engineer who used to give colorful signal red and green, if he becomes color blindness, he will be becoming permanent total disabled. So, on the basis of injury, which is certified by the medical doctors, this pension, this is decided how much disabled the person is. And if there is a case of permanent disabled while in service and the age is below 58 years, this disabled pension to this member would be started. There is anything you want to add if I have left anything?
No, sir, I think you have explained well.
Okay, any query? This point 3 and 5, and there is one query I have. In case of 3, the case 3 where the person has completed 10 years and is below 58 years of age, if he wants to withdraw the entire money, can he do
He,
that?
no, he cannot.
He
Since
cannot.
his one eligibility criteria has met, that he have achieved, he has contributed for 10 years of service. So the EPFO now will wait till he attains the age of 58 years. So once he attains the age of 58 years also, he'll start getting monthly pension from EPFO.
No doubt he can take the entire money also at one go after attaining 58 years of age.
No, sir, not,
He cannot
he
withdraw the
cannot
pension.
withdraw. No, only monthly
Permanent.
pension will be started. Even if after the service of 10 years, if he leaves the job, at that time also he cannot withdraw the amount. The only the monthly pension can be started, because the main motive of this scheme is to provide the monthly pension, not the
Retirement
withdrawal.
benefit.
Yeah, for that purpose we have provident fund.
So I had this one query, so I asked any query anyone is having.
See, actually, I'm having cases in my company where employees are coming and telling me that, because very soon I'll be completing 10 years and won't be able to withdraw pension.
Yes,
So
yes,
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 that's why
yes.
they're coming and pushing and telling us that they want to withdraw
right.
their
Yes,
pension amount.
yeah,
That is the
you
issue.
will find 90% of the people withdrawing their entire money in their ninth year of contribution.
Correct.
Correct. That's
They
what is happening. That's what
yes,
I'm seeing.
they do not want to get their money blocked. In spite of getting 7,500 per month, they will use this lump sum money somewhere else. They will go for FD or any kind of bank deposit, or there are so many mutual funds are there. So yes, the 90% of the people are opting for this. On ninth year, they will start withdrawing your, uh, as you said, the people are.
7,500 is the maximum limit of the monthly pension. So
Mhm.
maximum limit achieves if the person serves for more than 25 years, then only they can get the monthly pension of 7,500. In any case, they don't get that amount actually. They get up to 5,600
5,000,
or 6,000 rupees.
correct.
Yes.
Okay, let's proceed. Uh, we have seen pension fund, and again some more important point. Scheme certificate is issued by EPFO, no doubt. It provides the detail of the
Is
service
this
of.
certificate online or should they go to the PF office and get it?
Now it is not required actually when
So
the
there
things
are
are.
two cases here.
Huh.
See, those who are not used to of the online portal, they can apply for the hard copy. It is still active, right? So this, how do they apply for this scheme certificate? The form is common. So even if they want to withdraw the amount, they have to fill form 10C. Or if they want to apply for this, they have to fill form 10C. In form 10C, there are two options, two checkbox mentioned, that you want to apply for the this pension withdrawal, or you want to apply for the pension scheme. So if they do not want to withdraw the amount, but they want to have a certificate which will certify that this much amount is contributed in the pension fund, so they can opt for the pension scheme. So offline is also available, and in online, if the person is not withdrawing, all the information is there in their UN portal. So there is no need to apply also in the offline.
It is, the option is still available, but this is not that much required nowadays when everything is there online. The entire employee can access their PF passbook. An employer, one PF can have entire detail of employee online with all organizing the employee has worked, how many contributions things are online available nowadays. What I'm trying to say. So this certificate is still valid and available. You can ask, one can ask for this, But if even if one is not going for this, things are there online available, which is easily accessible to employee as well and to PF government as well. As an employee, we can also log in and we can also see that how many contributions are coming every month. We can download the passbook. We can see how much employer has contributed, how much is my contribution. So things are online. So this certificate, one can go for that, but that is not that mandatory as it was there many years, a few years back. Okay, so it provides it, and this scheme certificate details everything about the employee. We have seen that it mentions the name of the employee provident fund number, date of birth, father's name, date of joining, date of leaving, the age on date of exit, at which age the person has exited, 41 years, what is the actual service, what is 7 years, 7 months, 10 days. So all this detail, and this includes detail of nominee as well. These are three nominee for this person. Okay, and the pensionable salary is 6,500. And this is the service duration. So pension we can calculate. So all these details are there in this scheme certificate. We have seen that this scheme certificate, how it looks and what all details it carries. Okay, EPS scheme certificate is also an authentic record of service because it shows the history of your employment. Okay. Okay, so we are done with two things, PF fund and pension fund. Now we would be entering into EDLI, Employees Deposit Link Insurance Scheme. Any query from the last two benefits which we have seen, PF or pension? Okay. Look, EDLI, the main objective of EDLI is to ensure that the family members gets financial assistance in case of death of the member. This benefit gets activated only in case of death of the PF member, not in case of death of family members. Only when the employee dies who is covered under provident fund, this benefit is given, extended, and this benefit is extended to the family member, whosoever is the nominee. The insurance cover depends on the salary drawn in the last 12 months. We will calculation. Okay, we will see how what is the amount and how much is paid in case of death. As I said, we have seen that EDLI contribution only the employer contributes. We have seen that, and employer contributes 0.5% of PF wages on 15,000. This is limited by law, and the amount, premium amount or the contribution amount can be 75 only. It cannot be more than that. The insurance benefit can be availed by the family members or the legal heirs or the nominee. The member of EPP are automatically enrolled for EDLI. There is no separate registration which is required to cover employee under this insurance. Once you register the employee under Provident Fund, the person automatically gets covered under this insurance. Okay, and this benefit or this insurance coverage is there only till the time the employee is working or employee is contributing. If the employee has left the services and he is not working anywhere, and unfortunately in during that period when he is not working anywhere, if he dies, there would be no benefit which would be extended by Provident Fund. This benefit is only applicable and extended when the person is in working and contributing. All active PF members are eligible. If anybody has left and not working, and if the person dies, in that case, this benefit will not be extended. Like we have seen, all these advance for getting advanced 5 year, 7 year contributions is required. For pension, there are 10 year service minimum service is required. For this benefit, there is no minimum service eligibility. It starts from day one. Even if a person dies on the very second day of his working, the benefit under this scheme would be given to the person's family member. The claim amount, what is the amount which is given in case of death? The claim amount under EDLA is 30 times the average monthly salary. Again, when we are talking about monthly salary, we are taking basic and DA. 30 times of basic and DA in the past 12 months subject to a maximum 7 lakhs. 7 lakhs is the recent figure. Earlier, the 7 lakhs is the maximum insurance amount or the money which would be payable to the family member of the person who has died. And the minimum is 2.5 lakhs, which again recently got changed in Feb 2020. So minimum is 2.5 lakhs amount and maximum is 7 lakhs. In between these two figures, the family member gets the money in case of death of any PF employee. Like not only EDLI, in fact, the employer can opt out of the scheme in case of he takes a higher paying life insurance. Whatever facilities which is given in EDLI, employer can say that I am going for some private insurance and I would be paying similar or higher facility and they can exclude themselves from EDLI. Employer can in fact exclude themselves from entire PF also. There are many organizations, all Tata Group companies has got their own PF trust. They do not contribute any money to PF government. They have said to government that we would be extending similar facilities to all my employees and we would not be contributing anything monthly to you. We will create our own PF trust. So there are many companies who has got their own PF trust. For example, I guess DLF Limited has got their own PF trust. All big organizations, in spite of depositing this money to PF government, they have created their own PF trust. They deposit money in that organizations which they have created for themselves. So not only EADLI, company can go for entire PF trust with themselves only, provided they should provide the similar services or better services. Whatever the law is asking for, it should be either same or more than that. And these are few documents which are required in case of EDLI claim. The claimant must submit the following documents along with Form 5 to get this amount. In the case of death of the employee, the family member or whosoever is the nominee needs to submit this Form 5 and death certificate of the member. Guardianship certificate is required if the nominee or the legal heir is a minor, and succession certificate is required in case there is no nomination by the PF employee. Now, who will decide who is the legal representative or the legal heir of that person? In that case, the person who is claiming for this amount needs to submit the succession certificate, which says that yes, this person is the legal heir of that deceased employee, and copy of the cancelled check where the amount will go. It will not go to the employee bank account. It will go to the account of person who is claiming. The cancel check is required while claiming for EDLI benefit. And few things about the UN, you all know, universal account number is a 12-digit number which is unique in nature. Now it is impossible to get duplicate UN number. Earlier it was there. Many employee were having two UN number. Now it is impossible that it will get duplicated. UN of an employee remains same throughout the life, irrespective of the number of job the person is changing. The PF number gets changed with every organization the person is changing. PF number is never with company A, you will be having a different PF number. With company B, you will be having a different PF number. But your UAN number will be same. It is very similar to the relationship between PF number and UAN number is like bank account number and PAN number. You can have n number of bank account with n number of banks. Your bank account number with every bank would be different, but all are linked to your PAN. Similarly, with if you work with 10 different organizations, you might have 10 different PF numbers. PF number is company specific, where a state code comes, company code comes, and then company number. So with 10 different company, you might have 10 different PF numbers, but your UN number remain unchanged and same. Every time an employee switches job, EFF will allow a new member identification PF number, which will be linked to the UN. So it will always be linked to the your UN number. Okay, Arun was talking about the penalties and the legal procedure in case any employer is not following or adhering to this law. So these are the few penalties which can be imposed to employer, and this PF amount goes by 15th of every month. If you do not make payment by 15th, on 16th, the penalty amount would start appearing on the website. Even if you delay for 1 or 2 days, you will not get any kind of notice or any kind of phone. On PF portal only, we will show it in the next class how the PF portal look and how the notification comes. A new notification will start coming, and this penalty amount would also be there. So you have missed making this PF contribution. As an employer is responsible to deposit this PF contribution on a monthly basis by 15th of every month. 12% whatever contribution which is coming from employee, and 13% whatever contribution the employer is contributing. Employer is responsible to deposit all these two amounts to the PF government by 15th of every month. Whether they have paid the salary or not is irrespective. Is not PF is not concerned with that. By 15th, the PF contribution should be deposited in the PF department. Online process is there by the employer. Employer is responsible to submit and deposit this PF money. And these are the damages, in fact. Panel damage up to 25% per annum and interest at the rate of 12. Interest keep on increasing with the number of days you are delaying things. Your bank account can be seized. Uh, your money can be recovered from the parties or vendors from where you are expecting money. So all this, there are these are some measures, but there are other penalties and actions are there. So once it is a law, it is a law. You want every employer needs to adhere that. I guess we are done. Achha, there are many forms. We have discussed that, and we would be sending you that this forms also. Every You can download these forms by clicking here. There is a link in which these forms are linked. Form 31, as we have seen, this for PF withdrawal. Form, Form 14 we have not discussed, but anybody who wants to pay their LIC contributions, LIC policy contributions, they can fill a form and they can make it mandatory ECS from their salary only. From salary, your this LIC policy premium will get debited. No, from PF it will go. So one can pay LIC policy premium from PF also. Then Form D we have seen for claiming monthly pension. Form C. So all these forms are there, which are downloadable, and you can click and you can have a look in the forms. So we are done with the PF understanding as far as PF conceptual or understanding is concerned. We have covered the entire act, right from provident fund to pension fund to EDLI, who all are eligible, how much contribution goes, how the contribution can be increased or contribution can differ by the employer and by the employee. This applies to which all companies. Uh, any company having lesser employee can also go for PF. We have seen all that. Now we would be landing into the practical learning of the uh, PF topic, and Dheeraj sir would be taking that in the next class. This let Dheeraj sir explain you on the next class only. I would not touch these practical activities, but I would definitely want to open this session in case you have any query on any on whatever you have seen in today class right from very beginning. Any query, any doubt, any questions which we have seen so far. We would be sending this recording by 8 or 9 p.m. today, and study material of PF Act would be sent to you in the next class. Look, today we have covered this conceptual learning of Provident Fund. In the next class, we would be understanding the entire practical learning, how the challans are made, how the employees are enrolled, how the forms withdrawal is done, or how the people are marked exit. or how the employee can change their detail. We would be understanding that, and then after doing that, we would be sharing you the study material. But as far as video is concerned, today's class recording, it will come to you today only. After every class, the recording would be shared to you. Study material would be shared once.
Theoretical part study material I'll share today only. Practical I'll
Okay.
share in the next session.
Okay. So today only we would be sharing this recording and study material.
Nabil, do you want to ask something? Nabil, Pritshika, Malavika, any questions? Feel free to ask.
Hello.
Yes,
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 Vaibhav.
Yes, sir. I just want to one question
Hmm.
that for how long
Vaibhav, you are not audible.
one
Your voice is breaking a lot.
is PF amount in
वैभव, आपकी आवाज बिल्कुल नहीं आ रही है, या तो आप फिर से बोलिए या फिर ना चैट
Hello.
बॉक्स में टाइप कर लीजिए.
जी ठीक है सर.
Yeah, Vaibhav, tell me please.
नहीं हो रहा है, आवाज ब्रेक हुई. Vaibhav, connect with me after the session. कोई भी डाउट हो तो.